Hello everybody, it's good to be back again. It's been way too long, and let me just give a brief explanation. Let's just say that my computer has been facing some pretty... needless to say, I've had computer trouble, and it's been going on for like 4 months now. However, I finally got it fixed. Let's just say it's a little RAM problem. I don't want to go through the whole thing again. Anyway, welcome to Hidden Treasures. It's a small game where it's just basically dating sim, RPG, or MMORPG, or something of the sorts, with a few other aspects. But as you can see here, something doesn't seem right-ish, I guess you could say. Oh wait, because this is actually a goblin dating game. Sort of. Basically, I found these developers on Twitter. Developers? Artists? Yeah, we'll just go with that. Well, we'll just go with developers. Basically, I found this small game that they're working on. You can find it on itch.io. I'll leave it in the description down below. But basically, I got interested in this game, and being the guy that I am, I like supporting artists. I like supporting new indie games or new devs. And basically, I was kind of interested in trying this thing out because I follow a couple of the artists that actually helped make this game. So I tried a little bit to see if it's working, but I haven't really gone through it. So let's just give it a go. The demo. Welcome to Hidden Treasures, a tabletop adventure-inspired visual novel. Not to mention dating adventure. As I said, dating sim. There are all sorts of experiences in the fantasy world. Orcs and Oni, dragons and doppelgangers, trolls and player trolls. Oh, we all know the player trolls. You get the idea. You've got on an assortment of dates, but this time they're going to be a little different. Goblins. Monstrous creatures known to be grotesque, small, greedy, and mischievous. Ever seen Goblin Slayer? I'm right here. Often they're nothing but a minor inconvenience in the life of an adventuring party, but in great numbers, they can be extremely dangerous. Yeah, you got that right. Although here, that isn't the case. Let's begin. It is a sweet morning of spring. I need to work on my rating. The smell of flowers is strong in the air. A call to arms has been made, and dozens of individuals are making their way to the town square. They are hunters, warriors, rangers, mages, and all other sorts of arriving at the center point. Damn it. Fuck. Oh well. Many of them have taken up the call for a promise of gold, others for promise of glory. As you arrive, you still see many making their way in this direction. For a while, there's a general muttering and chatter that goes on until a voice calls out.
I have called many of you here today to help purge a problem that has been rising on the outskirts of our city for weeks now. Some of you have come from nearby, and the House of Alphavon calls upon many this day for you to defeat the creatures.
Is there a way to rewind it? No, I fucked up. I'm sorry.
It seems to be that rogue tribes of lizard folk have organized themselves and are fighting in a relentless manner.
I will have to say, they also, not just artists, but they've also hired some voice actors, being like minor voice actors that you would find on YouTube, or even more experienced ones. However, so far, they're doing some good work on this.
They seem to be using sneak tactics and ambushing caravans along the roads. Previously, there have been no issues. They've resided in the swamps for so long, and yet many of them are lashing out now, and attack without warning and without question. Those who have approached them have said they have a darkness in their eyes, although we do not know what that darkness is. Whatever it is that has possessed these creatures, They must be stopped. I see some of you standing here, who may be of that origin and descent, and I implore you that if we had been able to take peace as an option, we would have done so. The last peace group that we had sent there came back with only 1 out of the 8 that we had sent.
I just noticed something. That doesn't look exactly the same sentence that she read, but okay, I'll go with that. Yeah, I also talked with them and they said, I mean, yes, this is a demo for everyone, but I wanted to make a video of it to help expand or give them exposure, but also to point out a few things here and there. But I want to also just be fair and thorough, but also just to point out some things as well.
We'll be separated into specific groups, into specific squadrons. Multiple squadrons will attack in tandem, and we will function as a unified force.
Also note that I'm not criticizing the voice actor. Like, I've misread some things too. You just heard me misread some things just a few minutes ago, or a couple minutes ago. There I go again.
Are there any questions?
Have you tried asking nicely? How many have they killed? What are they armed with? What is the reward? Is there a leader? Also, this is the kind of game where your choices decide what happens in the story, and while this may be a demo, we'll just have to see where this takes us for now. What are they armed with? They seem to be using arrows that are barbed. They also seem to be armed with sharpened spears and clubs of bone. While this also is a demo, not everything is completed yet. Just saying that, like, I'm sure they're still working on the voices and that, or this is actually the part where you just can read instead. From what we've seen, there are no spellcasters, which works at our advantage. Fuck! Okay, how many have they killed? So far, we've lost 16 hired fighters due to underestimating their strength. With that in mind, we've taken measures in bringing on you all. That number, though, does not include the number of citizens who have been injured or slain. That number is much higher. Is there a leader? There's been no sight of a leader, but I wouldn't count it out. The tribes in this area are known to follow a council of authority. This means there may be multiple leaders, but it's still unconfirmed. I would ask, okay, asking nicely, stupid question. Is there a reward? I don't want to be that guy who just demands a reward. I mean, yes, it's a concern, but just go with no more questions. Just the important things. No questions? Good. Then I'll leave you to make sure you're prepared. They head into the crowd and look to be checking in with a different group. At this point, many around you start to sharpen their weapons, dust off their books, and test their arrows. It never hurts to be prepared. You should make sure you're prepared. That reminds me though, what class are you? Now, this is the part where they're also on Twitter. The devs have also been talking about other classes, such as not just these 3 that you see here. There's also Knight, Wizard, Sorceress, maybe Shinobi, and otherwise, yeah, Shinobi is a ninja, but otherwise other classes and not just these 3. But remember, this is a demo. They're only just trying these things out, so we'll see what happens from here. So I'll be a ranger then. It's like somewhere in between. It's like a rogue of sorts. Not really an assassin, but somewhere in between. Maybe? Dexterous. Your the dexterity increases by 5. What's dexterity again? I gotta look that up at some point, but I think it has something to do with endurance, maybe? Stamina? Probably. So sure, you So you're sure you want to be a ranger? At least I gave you that option. Yes. It seems the majority of the fighters are finally here. With a quick gaze, you estimate 30, maybe 40 ready and available combatants. Combatants. At this point, many individuals similarly dressed to the original speaker start to call out names. Your name is called out. What is your name? I didn't think there was gonna be a name here. Sir Toymaker. Is that your name? How about, I think you can also choose your gender after this. Let's see. Since this is a goblin dating game. I mean, I don't even know if there's humans in here or not. But there's supposedly talk of other races being involved here. But for now, it's goblins. And probably mainly goblins, but who knows. Gobtrip. Damn it, names are hard sometimes. Let's just go with Gobtrail for now. This is only a demo after all, and we'll just have to Gobtrail. Yeah. Gobtrail. I'm a ranger. I leave trails and all that, or I just scout out trails or whatever. Sure, let's just go with that. This is a demo, and I'll probably try a different name, but for now, let's just go with Gobtrail. Ah, that's right, of course. That is your name, correct? Yes, we'll go with that. Gobtrail, the ranger. I'm sure you will be remembered. Hopefully, while you're alive. Oh, wait, that wasn't even a... That was a sentence. Okay, that's not meant to be ominous foreshadowing. Gobtrail? They call out your name once more. A few other names are said with yours, and you can assume those are the members of your group. With a quick glance, you look over the other members and hear them chatting about something. Visani. I heard it isn't just lizard folk. I heard it was kobolds too. So, and also keep in mind, it's not just one specific artist. There are multiple artists also adding in their own creations or their own OCs or characters. So this is one of many different types of artwork creations, and can't tell if he's an elf or some sort of goblin, but he does look good. I will say, I want that coat. But from the looks of it, he's a sorcerer or wizard, somewhere around there. You're wrong. I heard they were undead lizard folk. That's Velvin. That's gotta be a dark elf for sure. It's like goblins, I'm sure they're just sticking with green, but that's gotta be a dark elf for sure. Lost creatures, angry and full of regret. I bet they've got a war turtle. Vacaris. Okay, so I guess I may be a human, or I'll just say whatever. I'll just be whatever. I thought you would have... One thing I gotta say real quick. I thought you would have to choose your gender also after picking your name. Because they've also... Because this is a dating game, they've also suggested that there will be themes, I guess you could say, or possible chances to date not only people of other races, but even those of the same sex. Basically, in other words, involving LGBT. Now, actually, hold on, let me just rephrase that. Yeah, LGBT may or may not be involved in this, but that's a possible chance. If you're a girl that wants to date a female race, then yeah, that's a possibility. And that's actually like giving people the option and the ability to choose who they want to date or whatever. Say, like, this guy supposedly wants to date this dragon thing. Sure, why not? That's a possible possible chance. I'm not saying just go ahead and just ship it, because who knows what's gonna happen in this game. Remember, you're the one who's making the choices. What? A damned creature. The war turtle. Oh, you're so full of... You won't be taunted when it locks down on you and slams you to the ground. When you're pinned and in pain screaming, but there's not a thing you can do. The force it uses crushes your arm and you're stuck. You struggle only to get whipped around and defeated. Nearly impenetrable body armor. So a war turtle is like someone who transforms into a giant turtle beast thing. There's 8,000 kilopounds of turtle power in that jaw. Ooh. Yeah, this is gonna be that kind of game. They continue on for a few more minutes, and then the speaker who called your name walks up to you. You are Group 3. You'll target the swarm by coming down from the east side behind Group 1, Group 2, following beside you. Prepare your magic, sharpen your blades, and get yourself ready. Again, you are Goblin, the Ranger. Do you want to change your name or class at all? Okay, so they still do allow you to change just in case. But we'll go with that, yeah. You step onto a car, and when everything else has mounted up, you all set off at everyone else. From the cart to your right, you can... That was beautiful. Oh, so it's on repeat. The voice speaks in another language. It sounds Elvish, but different. Elvis adjacent at most? Almost. Fuck. There is a reverb to the voice that seems almost unnatural.
Boy, haven't heard that tune in a while.
Aussie FedEx? Is that the Aussie FedEx guy?
Listen here, mate. I'll curb stomp your cock through a cheese grater if you don't open the damn door. It says here I have to deliver something called a forced orgasm tower. Alright, mate, what the hell? What? Let your slave cower before the power of restraint. Alright, what the fuck, mate?
Okay.
It's a sad song, yeah? Most don't know the context. I've heard some say it's about tragedy. Others say it's about love. From what I pick up, it's a bit of both. See, that's broken Sylvan speech, with a tad drow touched in there. I always thought it was a bit of both. Love can lead to tragedy, can't it?
The stranger seems to nod off. About an hour passes before you hear a voice shout. We have arrived. We dismount here, and then each squadron will separate and go to their specific locations. May the blessings of the old and new look over us all today. Everyone steps off the carts, and you can see many share glances, and others with others before splitting off. Some clasp arms, some share tight embraces, some share only a nod. Is this going to be a Final Fantasy kind of battle? As you await atop the hill with your companions, a breeze sweeps through. The grass sways, the trees shake, and for moments there is only just silence. The squadron captain walks up in the center of you all and shares a battle plan. We are the Helms. We will come into the fray last. We were named this because our battalion has a large number of heavily armed figures. The bookkeepers will come up the road first. Their numbers are majority spellcasters. They'll turn into the clearing where the enemy should appear and will lead the assault firing out area of map. I need to work on my rating of attack. Yeah. It must be done early on so not to hit our friendly targets. At that moment, the gloves shall come out of their hiding. The gloves? Okay. Shall come out of their hiding spot in the trees and come up from the south, making a pincer attack. At this point, I cannot read fast at all. At this point, they will probably move to annihilate our magic users. But by that time, we'll already be making our way down into the fray to seal the majority that are left. That is the plan. In the distance to the south, you can see the large group known as the Bookkeepers making their way north up the road. Their timing is impeccable. Finally, you see it. The large force of lizard folk making their way from the west towards the clearing they were expected. Someone in your group pulls out a spyglass and stands on a large rock nearby. I see. Spearmen. Also archers. They are Captain, they are lizard folk, but they're skeletons. The squad captain, the one who went over the battle plans, grips their weapon tight and dons their helmet. I probably would not be a good voice actor. Maybe not even narrator. Then hold no regrets and give no quarter. We give them peace. Oh, by the great forest. You hear heavy stomping. Multiple heavy stomps. At the tree line, you see a large figure appear. 2, 3 lizard folk skeletons walk out, but they are humongous compared to the small figures of the others. This changes nothing. Help squadron, form up. You all gather together closely. At the soon-to-be battlefield, you see the gigantic skeletons moving one next to the other and positioning almost an ascending position, with one kneeling, one squatting, and one standing at full height. An explosion booms, and a gust of wind is blown in your direction. Then another, and another. You can see a dozen small explosions taking place in the clearings. The Bookkeepers are engaging the enemy. Fireballs are flung. Bolts of lightning strike through the skeletal creatures and send their bones flying in all directions. Small controlled tornadoes are set off and blow many of the creatures up into the air. The large behemoths do not move and stand frozen in place. The battle has begun. With swift action, you see what you can only be the Glove Squadron. Many individuals in camouflage emerge from the trees and sprint up from the monstrous horde. Arrows fly up from both forces. Helm Squadron, forward! Blade in hand, the squad captain leaps off the rock. They stood on and charged down the hill. Terrible at this, am I? I'm sorry. All those at your side, in front of you, and behind all follow. It all begins here. Am I fighting now? On the battlefield, you attack relentlessly. The enemy forces outnumber yours by double, but they have significantly less will. Your health is 100. It seems like many of the creatures are actually fighting defensively, but they're... I'm sorry, I just have to turn this down a bit. I'm sorry, I had to... And around there. It seems like many of the creatures are actually fighting defensively, but there is a distinct advantage leaning on your side for the first minute of combat that passes. Suddenly the ground beneath your feet starts to shake. You see tremendous amounts of earth start to lift up and hover towards the towering skeletal creatures that haven't moved. That finally changes and they start to shift. The one that kneels puts their arms up at an angle, and the hovering earth starts to form a solid slope of earth that rests against their hands. Slowly, larger and larger pieces form and sit atop the skeletal creatures. They create an upwards hill with the giants as pillars. Your captain calls out, only 30 or so steps from you. They're spellcasters. In the direction they point, you can see a ring of lizard folk. This time through, though they aren't skeletons. They wear hoods and are holding glowing staffs. They're in a circle around a figure cloaked in shadow, smoke coming from their gaze, from below their gaze. When you look at the figure, you meet their stare and a chill of dread sweeps over you. I mean, with a glare like that, I mean, sure. Focus on the spellcasters. They're channeling and altering the field. Stop them, and it is likely that the skeletons go down with them. You, Gotro, go. I will follow behind. Charge forward, hesitate. Charge into a swarm of lizardmen, or hesitate. If I hesitate, I'm probably gonna die. But if I charge forward, again, probably just gonna get myself killed. Screw it, I'll just go with it. You sprint ahead and have very little issue dealing with the skeletons around you. A piercing arrow sends a skeleton's head backwards and the body falls in front of you. Dodge, deflect, shoot. You leap over the remaining bones and keep going forward, but you see an enemy charging you from your right. One of the skeletons pops out on your right. You react. Let's see. Dodge, dexterity. My dexterity is pretty high, so do I want to risk it? Dodge. Oh, so dexterity is somewhere along the lines of... Wait a minute. Attack? That should be around strength, shouldn't it? Well, I'll just go for the attack. You draw back an arrow and fire. Your total for this dexterity check is 20. Ah, shit. The arrow hits directly in the neck and the lizard folk head clatters to the ground, bones scattering all over. This helps clear a direct path for you and you continue to charge ahead. Well done. Pushing through the crowd isn't terribly difficult. Your attacks prove effective. That's when you see it. The spellcasters seem to finish arranging their earthen bridge and just in time for the sky to turn dark. Then flashes of color start to streak across. Blues, reds, pinks, and greens. It looks like a beautiful mosaic painting in the sky that is blending and flowing like water. The group of spellcasters with the shadowy figure in the center start making their way towards the ramp. You are between them and what seems to be their objective. 3 out of the 7 casters has fallen. Slash. The squad captain comes up on their side and unleashes a hefty swing, cutting down another instantly. Without skipping a beat, the captain takes another step and pivots to push himself forward at the shadowy figure. They bring their sword upwards and then bring down with a full force that you would swear felt like slices through the wind itself. The blade hits something hard and you notice the shadowy figure has raised their arm. The arm has almost a miasma floating off of it. The squad captain doesn't skip a beat and pushes back just in time to avoid their target swing down a clawed hand that smashes into the ground and leaves a smoldering small crater. No time to hesitate. One of the spellcasters flings a fireball at you. How do you react? First of all, I need water. The fireball is speeding towards you, but you attempt... I'm sorry, the music is still pretty freaking loud, so let's just bring it down a bit. The fireball is speeding towards you, but you attempt to roll out of the way. Your total for the dexterity check is 18. The fireball is no problem, and you evade the blast with ease. Wait a minute, I still have 10. Well, I had 10 before, and... Did they give me back? Okay. You seem like you're getting better at this. Thump. Or is that it? While they were distracted with you, an arrow hits the fireball caster directly in the chest. Or, yeah. Following the direction the shot came from, you can see the scout from your squadron. Behind them, there's an enemy spearman charging towards them, but they wave you forward. You are closing in on the captain, caught in a battle with the Shade. An armored knight comes up from behind the dueling pair and swings down a mace. Without even turning, the shadow reaches back and grabs them by the neck, snapping it and tossing them to the ground like a rag doll. Let's go with that. All around you, the battle is shifting in your favor. The skeletons may have been vast in numbers. They are not a trained fighting force. The spellcasters seem to have finished placing the earth on their improvised giant ramp and now turn their focus to eliminating threats. Boom! The crack of thunder breaks out of the as the swirls above start to storm and shift like rapids. It is a beautiful sight. Another rush of heat, immense heat, hits you. Against the beautiful swirls in the sky, you see multiple fireballs flying overhead and then all collide directly with the shaded figure. Much of the fighting comes to a pause. There is a massive smoke cloud that surrounds where the figure stood. At that moment, you hear a bellowing roar. A large, dark, and bestial hand reaches out of the smoke and slams to the ground. A second roar bursts out, but this time, the smoke is blown away, and all that's left is a large dragon. That is the, Wait, are those the eyes? So, Black Dragon? Death Dragon? I'm sure there's different breeds of dragon, maybe, they're going for. Good dragons, evil dragons, let's just go with that. The body seems to be smoking, but the smoke dances around them. In this moment, the skeletons stop moving. The lizard full of spellcasters stop chanting. The allied forces pause and look upon this creature in awe, fear, and bewilderment. They really know how to pick some good sounds. Another scorching feeling comes across you, and you turn to your left to see a line of black and green flames that have scorched both living and undead alike. It came without warning, but the dragon annihilated dozens in an instant. The skeletons go back to fighting. The soldiers are fighting back even harder. Many of them head towards the dragon itself, your captain included. A swing at the tail, the arms, the neck. Spells collide from all sides. Arrows hit the skin, half of them piercing. The dragon retaliates by whipping their tail, swinging their claws, and slamming their jaws. It makes an open mouth dive forward, heading towards the captain. Watch from a distance, aim for the eye. What is this gonna cost me? I'm gonna try to aim for the eye. Blinding light appears in the sky, and you have to look away. With a flash, the terrifying creature seems to just ever so slightly veer off the path and miss their target. A large green sphere appears. It floats in the air directly at the peak of the earthen ramp. The sound of lightning erupts, and you see multiple bursts of lightning fall from the sky and connect to it with the draconic monster. Then a huge bolt of electricity strikes, and the creature screams out. The fighting intensifies. A large focus has been put on the dragon, and it definitely notices. It starts moving forward towards the ramp, but it looks injured. Now is the time for action. The beast tries to use its wings to raise its body off the ground, but it seems the injuries have seriously wounded it. As you move in with the others to try to slay this weakened monster, it spins around in a wide circle and blows everyone back. You roll a bit, but get back up to your feet in time to see it charging in your direction. You got only a couple of options with the speed it's going. Brace myself, avoid it. I mean, of course I'm gonna need to avoid it. I got more I got more dexterity, so I'm gonna need to just bail. This monster is charging in your direction like a wild animal. You shake a bit as the earth trembles. Now is the time to dodge. Your total for the is 17. Success. In a true display of dexterity, you watched the timing of you watching the it's watched. You watch the timing of the dragon's movements and move with them. It requires some skill, but you manage to move the opposite direction, avoiding the rampaging beast. Before you realize you're partially up the ramp, it is charging up. You're about halfway up when you see it hurling in your direction. A large fireball is speeding towards the dragon and you. It hits within seconds and the force sends you flying directly up the ramp. Your body is heavy and weak. Somehow that hit knocked more than the wind out of you. You're still flying. Time is moving slowly, but you see the eyes of the dragon looking directly at you until you are pulled in directly into the spear. Welp. Why did I even do that? Around you, there's a blend of colors. Bright greens and deep blues. Soft and cool. Red, harsh and wild. Orange, warm and sweet. Yellow. Mellow? Yeah, mellow. The swirl of colors reminds you of the display you saw across the sky. You can see another color, although this one has shape. A smoldering shadow dragon is flying in your direction and this void. It's approaching fast, but it doesn't seem like it is moving consciously. The eyes are closed. There's a bright light behind you. As you turn your head, there's a flash. You see a soft blue ocean. A sky of white. Wait a moment. Your world is upside down and you're falling. There's a flash of what looks like a forest below you as you pass through the clouds. You try to move, you try to do something, anything, but your body won't respond. Is this going to be another world kind of thing? Like an isekai anime or something? There's a faint sound of music in the far distance. It makes the fall seem slow. The air is warm here. The wind from falling almost feels like a warm embrace. A warm embrace while fading out of the sky. Ironic, huh? The wind is rushing against your body as you break through the clouds. Even still, you close your eyes and drift off. Your eyelids feel heavy. Through the darkness, you can hear voices. What are they? Are they dead? No, they're still breathing. Who are they? Gods, are they all right? Can I have their leg? No. Please. Are they okay? Can I experiment on them? They're looking pretty rough, honestly. Zival should be able to do something. I can't believe they fell out of the Aurora Zenith. Nothing has come out of that in ever. We can come back. For now, we should let them rest. Forget this. I'm going back to the party. Agreed. Take them upstairs. I'll check up on them later. Oi, come on. Help me get them comfortable in a bed. Rest of you go back. There's a soft sensation under you now. Under you. Okay. It may be feathers, or at least something else. You drift off again and wake up in a strange room. Slowly you navigate out of the room and find a distance. Find a gate and... What is wrong with me? I need water. As you head down, you hear a voice. Glad to see you're up and about now. Come on, come on. And there we have it, our first goblin. You worried some of us falling out of the sky, bruised and burned. You've been through a bit, haven't you? Not gonna confident. You wouldn't believe. Drained. I think I still am. Fidget slightly, nervous. I'm just go with drained. You wouldn't believe the shit I went through. I can only imagine, although I'd be honored to hear more about it. Civil gave Seoban a recipe for a potion to give you. That combined with their healing should be recovered soon. Plus, I see you still have your leg. She winks at you. Are you saying my leg was cut off or something? Seems like for the most part you're okay. Just don't push yourself too much. Here to help however I can. I'm Sigrid. Where am I? Who are you? I'll just go with where am I? How do you ask? Cautiously, confused, angry, nervous. I'll go with calm. She smiles softly. This is a Singing Moon Inn, home to many a drink with great service included. So basically I'm in a motel or something? An inn, yes. How do you ask? Once again, calm. A wide smile hits her lips. I'm the boss of this beautiful place. One of my many lucky treasures. And that's all for now. A wave of vertigo comes over you as you stumble for a moment. Hey, this is exactly what I was worried about. Sit, have some water, take a moment. A familiar sound catches your ear. It's a warm sound, but also for a moment makes you feel as if you're falling. This is a tune you heard when you came through the portal. It was this. Ah, hear the Duchess, huh? The Duchess? Is that it? Oh, she's a talented player, that one. I feel like I should be reading this in a sort of accent. I'm terrible at it, though. Go on out. Enjoy the show. She practically forces you out of the door when outside you see what looks like a festival. You notice all the characters here have something in common. They're all goblins. There it is. Goblins. Different heights and shades of green, but they are all definitely goblins. Music roars, the air is warm, and the colors around are simultaneously vibrant and welcoming. A hooded figure walks towards you as you exit the building. The hood looks distinctly like an owl, and their face is masked in shade. I have seen their arrival, and considering it on the final day of the crest, we will welcome them. Then tomorrow, we will resolve it. That said, tonight we welcome you and we celebrate. Two of the goblins that stood near the figure are walking in your direction right now. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Callow. Let's have a good time. And Callow just seems to be like a archer or a ranger himself. Seems to have been through some kind of fight. And it's for awesome. And I'll drink you under the table. Seems like we got our drinker right here. Tomboy maybe? Who knows? That's a lie, Lynn. Yeah, okay, Callow. Whatever you have to tell yourself. Oi, I can. Yes, of course, as you say. At that moment, they both look in your direction. Tell us, who do you think would win in a drinking contest? Callow, no doubt. Callow without doubt, Lynn for sure. Are you kidding me? She looks like she can drink any man. Like, look at the fucking biceps? Is that correct? Biceps? Oh well. She looks like she could drink anyone under the table. Sorry, dude, but despite all the scratches that you have and whatever, looking like a badass and whatever, you have to go over this one. She looks like she spends most of her time at a pub or an inn or whatever. Loves to have a good time. So let's just go with that. You see Lynn give a toothy grin. Ha! They've been awake less than an hour and already seeing through your nonsense. Or maybe they just pity you. The two continue a bit of playful banter and pull you out into the crowd. You're introduced to dozens of members of their tribe, none seemingly off-put by your appearance or look, although many curious about you. It all goes on till dusk, and everyone starts to settle. In the distance, you can see both Callow and Lynn still playfully bickering. Please forgive those two. The voice from behind you is soft and calming. They're A lot. The goblin with the soft eyes walks in front of you and bows. Okay, he seems like a dryad of sorts. Maybe the antlers, or are those antlers? He or she seems like someone who's basically inept with nature or something. A druid or a dryad, someone who uses the powers of nature to basically either fight or just make peace or something like that. My name is Tahon. Is that how you pronounce it? Tahon? Tahon. Okay, let's just go with that. Tahon. It's a pleasure to meet you. Cloudfaller? Okay, let's just go with that. Hopefully I'll get to see more of you soon. I have a few things I'd like to talk to you about. Tahon walks away and they wave as they do. Back in your room at the inn, you lay down again and are hit by exhaustion. Whatever medicine you were given, has definitely worn off, but then you notice a small vial on the table next to your bed. It has a note attached to it. This should help. The initial taste is like honey, although apparently the aftertaste is like sour sadness. I have no idea what that means. I asked Seyovan why, and she said, because it's funnier that way. Anyway, hope it helps. Take it before you sleep, Sigrid. What a world this is. You drink the vial, and the initial taste is sweet, exactly like honey. It is warming to your tongue. And then, the sour sadness. Oh, the sour sadness. It is as if someone covered your tongue in a lemon and sprinkled a bit of dirt on top of it. Your head feels a bit woozy and you place the vial on the side. At least you aren't sore anymore. It is definitely doing the job. Within seconds, you're asleep. You wake to something shaking your shoulder. As you open your eyes, it takes a moment to realize where you are. Right, you're not home. You're not even sure where this is except for the Goblin Village. You rub the sleep from your eyes and look up to see Callow's grinning face looking down at you. Hey, at least he's whispering. Oh, shit. Wake up. I've got something really cool to show you. I'm excited. Tell me what it is first. 5 more minutes. I'll just play the casual 5 more minutes. Just give me 5 more minutes. Callow laughs softly. Alright, but if you're not up in 5 minutes, I'm sending Luto to come wake you up. Do I want to know who Luto is? Okay, he leaves quietly, giving you a moment to fully wake up. You lay in bed for a few minutes before it's probably time to go out. He's got something planned, something unique. He was chuckling to himself on the way out. Get out 5 more minutes. Get out of bed. I'm almost tempted to see who Ludo is. Let's just go with it. Slowly sliding out of bed, you spot your clothes, freshly washed, on the bedside table. You quickly dress, even though you're not exactly sure what you're getting dressed for. You go downstairs, and Sigrid is nowhere in sight, probably sleeping like a normal person. As soon as you step outside, you can see the clear night sky shining bright at this late hour. Callow waves you over to where he's standing with his direwolf companion, 2 baskets hooked on one arm. As you approach, he offers you his hand. Come on, let's get going. Okay. He leads you by the hand through the village and then outside the walls. You keep walking until you reach the edge of the forest, and he pauses to look back at you. He drops your hand and looks down, sheepishly rubbing the back of his head. You don't have to come with me if you don't want to. I guess I just thought maybe I shouldn't have woken you up. Sorry. Excited, indifferent. Well, I'm already awake. I don't mind if it's okay. That's a flirt. Indifferent, excited. I want to see. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier with the options. But I'll just go with, well, I'm already awake, indifferent. His soft smile returns to his face. Yeah, that's true. I promise, it's really amazing. I think you'll like it. Kalos still seems a little unsure, not as excited as he was before, but he continues to lead you into the forest. You wind your way through trees, and the thicker the forest gets, the harder it is to see the moon and stars overhead. It begins to get darker and darker, and were it not for Callow holding your hand, leading you, you're sure you would have tripped already. It's just up ahead. Callow speaks softly and squeezes your hand. Just as he says that, you begin to notice more light coming up ahead. It's an incredibly faint bluish green glow, but with how dark the forest is right now, you can see it. As you approach, it gets brighter until you've both stepped through the trees and into a rocking clearing. There you see what Callow was talking about. Woo. Mushrooms, luminescent glowing mushrooms, sprouting spores that float through the air, dimming as they dissipate. It almost looks like fireflies. The mushrooms themselves range in size and color, some smaller than your pinky finger, and clustered together in clumps, some bigger than your head, some a bright blue color, and some a greenish purple hue. There's so many scattered about, you can't even count them all. And you look ahead and realize this mushroom field weaves deeper into the forest as well, going on who knows how far. Callow probably knows. Pretty amazing, right? Callow nudges your shoulder with a smile on his face. Yes, sincerity, beautiful. It really is. His voice doesn't hide his own awe. There's nowhere else in the forest quite like it. The weather is just right for this. It's damp and cool. That's when the mushrooms sprout. You take a silent moment together to appreciate the view before Callow steps forward and claps his hands. Alright, we need to collect as many as we can carry. We don't want them too small or too big, so try and pick ones that are about this big. He holds his hand apart a few inches. Do we know what kind of mushrooms these are? Are these the kind of mushrooms that just make you get high or something? Who knows? Oh, and try to stay away from the purple ones. They can be a little too potent. He lets out a little chuckle at the end. I knew it! I fucking knew it! What are they for? Medicine. Okay, medicine. Sure, we'll go with that. We collect as many as we can and then bring them back to the village to get cooked down with some other herbs and stuff to make a kind of poultice. You begin to gather up mushrooms and stack them high in the basket Callow gave you. You admire them as you pick them. They're all different shapes and colors, and while they dim slightly since you've taken them from their roots, they seem to glow brightly. It's just you and Callow in the forest right now, quietly picking mushrooms side by side. Now would be a good time to ask him anything you want to know. Did you ask me to come and pick these? Just come and pick these? Aren't you nervous? I'm a stranger. What's that portal? Do you know anything about dragons? Let's go with that. Aren't you nervous? I'm a stranger. He smiles slightly. I'm not actually. I feel like I can get along with you. I know you're a bit of an outsider like me. He pauses for a moment after saying that and goes back to gathering. What was that portal? Oh, you mean the lights in the sky? I'm really lucky. Most before me haven't gotten a chance to see that. It happens twice a year every century. This was the first one of the year, right at the celebration of the Fall Crest Festival. There'll be another one in a few months though. Callow pauses and looks up at you. It's still hard to believe you fell out of that and survived. Although I'm sure you need to get back to where you fell from. Don't worry, we'll help you get back. Zivol is wise. Callow's words sound a bit dry and he avoids looking at you. do you know anything about dragons? Dragons? You mean like the giant beasts from the stories? They've been gone for... I think they've been gone for over a millennium now. They're huge and fierce, strong and quick, super deadly, super scaly. Although, to be honest, that sounds like Lynn on a bad morning. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Please don't tell her that. Please don't tell her I said that. Oh. Oh, I will. They have dragons where you're from, huh? I can't even imagine. I'm glad you came along. You shouldn't have to be alone. I'm glad you asked me to come with you. Yeah, I'm glad so I could see all this. Yeah, he genuinely looks happy. Me too. By the time you and Callow have both filled your baskets as full as you can carry, the mushrooms around you have started to dim. You look around cautiously. Cautiously? I can tell it's morning. You look up through the branches above you, but it still seems dark up ahead. Overhead. Well, almost. Come on, we should head back. Callow leads you back through the winding forest. You still have no idea where you are going and trust him to lead the way. He's not holding your hand this time, as both of you have your hands full. As you reach the village, you can tell it's early dawn. The light hasn't quite reached the horizon, but the sky itself is lighter and the stars have dimmed out to make way for the morning. Callow takes your basket from you as you're approaching the singing moon. I'll take these to the healer. You should go back to bed while you still can. He starts to turn away, then pauses. Hey, thanks for coming with me tonight. I really enjoyed the company. There's a quiet moment where you're both still looking at each other, but before you can say anything else, Callow offers a good night and hurries away. As you turn to head into the inn, you catch movement out of the corner of your eye. That's Tahun and Lynn. They both go separate directions, though. What do you do next? Sadly, it'll have to be waiting until the next demo comes out, but we have to... I knew it! I knew it! I knew it was gonna do something like that! Damn it! Oh. I knew it was gonna do something like that. Okay, well, this was, unexpected, but yeah, this is the demo, and this is what everything looks like right now. I guess it's concept art and maybe ideas for new characters or whatever. Thanks for playing Hidden Treasures. A lot of work went into this with a bunch of different friends and artists. Some might have found it a bit off having the different art styles, but there are a bunch of talented artists. I specifically really wanted to showcase each of them and what we've been working on. If you have a minute, please fill out of the Google form or feedback to get in contact with the... Okay, here's to many of the more adventures, many more stories. Most of all, don't forget, date green, hashtag date green. Oh yeah. So what we've seen thus far is date green. But, sorry. Okay, time to take it seriously again. So, back to the topic at hand. So, as you can see here, there are many different types of artists and art styles. However, if they really... I would like to see numerous types of art styles, especially from the artists that I follow, some of my favorite artists, or some of the artists that I'm currently following. And I would love to see what they can do with this game as well. And I'm actually liking this so far. It has some RPG aspects, and I feel like they should go back and do some proofreading. That should be the case. However, I do like what I see thus far, and all this just looks pretty beautiful. However, they are still looking for voice actors, and I mean, hell, I would love to try, but I mean, I could do some acting here and there and otherwise, but I don't even know if I have the time, and maybe not that much talented, but they do have some pretty good voice actors. The one at the very beginning that was actually talking to the people in town, the adventurers. Then again, who fell down with me? Did I just fall in there alone, or was it someone else also? Whatever. But what else do I have to say? They do have, as you saw before, they do have some aspects in the game where you can actually make choices to go either straight, gay, bi, who knows. But yeah, they do have LGBT aspects in there, and that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. It means that I guess inclusion is the right term, but they're definitely involving quite a lot of options and people. There could still be more, and I can't wait to see what more they can do with this game. But again, proofreading is a necessity because I see some spelling checks and spelling errors that might need to be fixed in the future, and they've actually clarified that in their patch. But yeah. So I'll just put a link to their page, to their Twitter and Patreon if you want to search them up. And I don't really know what else I can really say but that. Other than that, I'll see you all later in the next video. It's been too long since I've been able to make content, and it's good to be back. And starting with this thing, supporting new creators, new content creators, new game developers and artists, it's something I would love to do. I'm surprised I haven't put a credits menu, credits thing or something here. But in other words, I'll see you all later. #DateGreen.